Okay guys, well it's Troy Francis and I'm joined by Dr. Silk and we're here in Warsaw, and what we're going to discuss in this video is what Harvard science teaches us about attraction, okay? Because for far too long this field of dating and attraction has been rather left in the hands of people who aren't basing anything they're talking about in terms of data or science. And actually, a lot of the research that's coming out of Harvard University, amongst other places, can really tell us a lot about how we should be approaching this. And that's what Dr. Silk's an expert in. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so my thought of what attraction and connection actually is, what we can see from the scientific literature and paper is just a bunch of chemical reactions in the brain, basically. And how can we actually optimize the way or actually trigger those chemical reactions in the brain with a woman? How can we do that?
Okay.
And it's not until quite recently, just a few years back, when Harvard University actually came out with very solid, robust scientific paper on what actually matters in intrapersonal communication.
Okay.
We're talking basically about how to create connection with other people, and specifically women.
And to be, was that research specifically about women and dating, or was it more just generalized?
It was actually both sides.
Okay.
Both sides, because now we want to talking about the communication faculty theory. We're talking about likability. And likability creates those chemical reactions that is connected with attraction, sexual attraction, and bonding, basically.
Okay.
And when we're actually thinking about another area of the neuroscience and the synapses in the brain of what is actually spiking in terms of immediate attraction and the midterm attraction, that is different from guys and girls. And based on that theory, we work differently, and that's why I'm saying specifically for women, because when we are talking about creating connection based on the cutting edge communications theory out there, made into practical terms,
yes,
we can definitely see that that is more leaning towards females than males, basically.
Right. Okay. And just so that guys are aware, you've got, I think, 2 postgraduate degrees in communications and plus an MBA. So you know your stuff in this area. Now, do you think that a lot of the theory that's been used in the male game dating space previously has been a load of nonsense? To be frank,
a lot of
pseudoscience, like a lot of pseudoscience.
Yeah, because when we're talking about connection here, theoretically, I mean, we have a hypothesis of what is actually trigger the chemical reaction in the brain, the signal substance that we have in our nervous system and the brain. How do we trigger that? And if we're going to look at the scientific data, there is no backing that the old PUA stuff has anything to do with spiking those chemical reactions at all, and to create connection. And when I can actually see the material back in the days is not only, something that support connection with another person, it goes against it. So sometimes it's even worse.
Right. Okay.
Than what it actually is.
So why do you think that material, that approach, the old school pick-up dating advice approach, has stuck for so long, and why haven't people been referring to the material that you're talking about now?
It's because the modern world is changing, and if we're going to look at how we actually communicate and get information today through internet, through social media, through online courses, I mean, it just changed the whole landscape of gathering information.
Right.
And because of that kind of modernization in terms of the new information era of how we're gathering content from different sources, have made us come into an area of taking the best theory in the academic world and make it practical.
Okay.
And that is what we are doing right now. However, if you look at back in the days, those kind of academic theory, and then in order to convert it into practical terms, required a lot of expensive consultancy. And people just in general didn't have access to those kind of scientific reports.
Yeah.
Most people doesn't even know that they existed until now, basically.
And to be fair as well, I mean, a lot of the the science that you're going on is pretty new, right? We're talking about stuff that's come out within the last few years.
Yes, very
So,
new.
so somebody like a figure like, say, Mystery, for example, you've talked about this before off camera, that the stuff that he was doing, it was well intentioned, but obviously now the knowledge that we have supersedes what he had access to at that time.
Yeah, so what I can say basically is like what Mystery tried to achieve back in the days is something that I believe that we can achieve now. I truly believe that this is what we can achieve because we have the scientific backing of what actually works and what's
Right.
not working. And that kind of scientific robust data is something that we didn't have before.
Yeah,
So we have
yeah.
nothing to go for. But now we have the scientific literature that we need in order to take the whole thing to the next level.
And so to be clear, there is now a clear scientific case for ways that guys can behave in order to meet women and to create attraction in those women, but also to create connection with them that's going to lead on to dating and intimacy and everything else.
Absolutely. And with that said, Troy Francis, I can tell you this one is like when we are now talking about working with yourself, we are now talking about working with yourself in the way of being more yourself than ever before.
Okay.
So we're not going to go out
No,
from
it's not pretending
ourselves.
to be someone else.
No, we're not going further from ourselves. We're actually being more ourselves than ever. And that is actually the key to succeed. We have to be completely genuine ourselves in order to take things further, as long as we have the right mindset and the right framework. But with that said, also, the right framework and learning to create connection with women is a skill that has to be taught with intent.
Right.
You need to learn it with intent. It's nothing that you can learn naturally. And according to the leading scientists in this field, was very clear on that point, that this is nothing that comes naturally. We have to learn it with intent. And once we have learned it, we create our new neural pathways, creating the memory room, and it becomes part of us. And that means we become more genuine ourselves than ever before, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Fantastic. So not only are we creating better outcomes in dating, but we're also helping guys to become better versions of themselves, which is obviously, it's a win-win. That's what we all want, right?
Yeah, better version of themselves in a genuine manner. Like they're being more genuine, being more than self than ever before. And that is what I like.
Yeah.
It's not like changing yourself to the better version. It's just being you, but in the better version.
Yeah.
Genuinely you.
Because when I think about my lifestyle, the lifestyle maybe other friends of ours lead, I mean, I travel around a lot. I go to different places, I meet different people, and along the way, I want to meet women that I'm attracted to and create genuine connections with them. I don't want to be messing around. I don't want to be playing some game or doing some party trick. I want to be actually creating genuine, real connections with these women and creating great memories for both of us. And that is something that the method that you're prescribing, that can actually absolutely achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there is nothing better to just being absolutely yourself, have a genuine interest towards the other person, and have a genuine intent for that person as well, and be able to deliver that part in a very comfortable manner. Doesn't matter how beautiful she is, doesn't matter how attractive she is, you're just being the genuine you, being comfortable, and actually have sort of a mission of just being yourself even more. And that is actually the thing that's going to drive the whole process forward to the next level.
Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
So look, pleasure as always. If anybody wants to talk further about this, maybe you want to work with myself and Dr. Silk on a one-on-one basis, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and we can get on the call and we can discuss how we can make that happen. Because really, this is the revolution now, isn't it? We're really trying to push this out and really help guys with this stuff. Because for too long, the information that's been put out there has either been, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's been sort of not as effective as it could be. And what we're putting out now, this is the real stuff that's really going to help take you to the next level.
Absolutely. And the thing is that, what we are teaching now is something that has been proven to be absolutely genuine, effective, tangibly. We're actually not only using a good system, we're optimizing the system of connecting with other people. And that, what we're doing now is so scientific based that people are using it in other fields.
So, I mean, if you think about some of the big corporations who are using this kind
Absolutely.
of this kind of thinking, I mean, I don't know if you want to name any names, but I mean, this is something that this is cutting edge thinking in terms of not just dating. I mean, that's a small part of this that we're specialising in, but this is the business world, finance, politics, negotiation, international relations.
Hospitals. When it comes to like people that are psychologists, using a lot of the theory that I'm using from the academic communication faculty. They're using the same papers that we are using. Journalists from the biggest newspapers in the world, CNN, New York Times, The Guardian, just name it. They are using the same scientific based paper in terms of communication as we are doing.
Yeah.
We are just tweaking it to optimize the dating scene.
Yeah.
So it's not like we are completely reinventing the wheel.
Yes.
We are actually using the invented wheel tweaked to our purposes in terms of connecting
and helping
with women.
guys to achieve better connections
Exactly.
with the opposite sex. So, all right, guys. Anyway, as I say, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, if you want to discuss your own particular personal situation. And thank you, Dr. Silk, and we will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.